roasting the chickpeas, and then we'll talk a little bit about the food. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a chickpea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show you over here. I'm putting a towel, like a little kitchen thing down, and I'm putting half the chickpeas in this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry it out. So I'm going to rub it around like this. Can you see?
Oh,
So
yeah.
this way, the skin also, can you see some of the skin comes out?
Use paper towel for this? Or-
You can use paper towel, cloth, anything. So when the skin, like we don't want to be anal about this, but we want to dry it out as much as we can. So I just rub it around like this.
Thanks, bye.
Emily, can you put your oven on to 380? Can you put your oven on to 380? Emily?
Put the oven
Yes.
on 380.
Yeah. And then we're draining out the chickpeas. We're drying it out on a towel or a paper towel or a cloth towel, and we're just rubbing it on the towel like this, so that some of the skin comes out and it dries out nicely.
Is this for roasting them?
Yes, half the chickpeas, only half the chickpeas.
Okay.
Do we actually rinse the chickpeas? I forgot to check.
I like to rinse my chickpeas if they're canned chickpeas.
Okay.
So you see the skin coming out for everyone?
Yes. Do you want the skin removed or it's okay? Just leave it?
I mean, we don't have to be fussy about it, but when the skin is out, it's crisper. So some skin removed is fine, some there, some gone is fine. So, but it just comes out when you do it like this. So it's mine are pretty dry. So I'm going to transfer them to a bowl. So some have the skin on, some don't, which is totally fine. So normally for this dish, we actually, it's a different, we use a buddy, it's a dried like lentil fritter sort of, but this is a great workaround because that it's really hard to find that. But I'll send you a link to what it is. Can everyone go mute? How can I mute everyone, Kapil?
No, but then if they have a question, they won't be able to ask.
They can unmute themselves.
They can unmute
Yeah,
themselves.
always.
I got on.
Ujashri got on. Oh, excellent.
And Emily's on.
Yeah.
Everyone's on. No, what's her name didn't come. Okay, great. Thank you. So we're going to put, I'm just going to put a nice like glug of, I'm putting like 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil and some salt.
You're adding olive oil and salt to the chickpeas?
Yes, to the dry. So I've kept half is separate for the curry and half to dry, half to roast.
You can just use a big baking pan if you want, can't you?
Yes. And just spread it out in the pan. But you have to wait till your temperature reaches before you put it in.
Nidhi, what are they roasted for? Do they go in the curry or?
Yeah, as a garnish. It's really pretty. And it gives a little crunch to the curry.
Okay. Are you on parchment paper on your pan?
I have parchment paper on my pan. I'm partial to parchment paper.
Does it need paper? I just put it straight in the,
You can totally put it straight in on the pan.
good thing.
Amelie, how are you doing? You're okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Good morning. Richard might join us later at 7.
Okay.
I like your instructions to prepare. They were really clear.
So I'm just going to put this aside while we're waiting for the oven to reach temperature. And so we'll begin with the tomato chutney and then go on to making the kabocha, the kabocha pangchak, the spinach dish. Because we'll begin with the tomato chutney and then it takes a while to cook and then we'll just leave it to simmer and then start the kabocha dish, right? So I'm just going to take this out of the way. So how is everyone with their prep work? I just kept some spinach here to show I chopped some of my spinach and I have some here just to show you how to chop. Did everyone find kabocha squash?
I did.
No.
So are you using butternut, Carol?
Yes.
Okay. So sometimes, Carol, you can find kabocha squash at Union Market sometimes. And the little stores really often have it, like the Caribbean stores. I always find them there. Sometimes they even cut, like, Mike, where did you find your kabocha?
I actually found it in the health food store in Brooklyn Heights, Paralandra.
Oh, you found it in Paralandra. And Mike, you?
I found it at Key Food, believe it or not. They had a bunch.
Yeah, they do, yeah. Emily, where do you buy? You bought it at the thing. I can't see Jayashree though.
I bought it at a Caribbean vegetable market, but I just happened to be there. I've also seen them at Key Food.
Right. And Shreya, did you find it where you are?
Do you put anything besides salt and olive oil with the roasting chickpeas?
Yeah,
Anything else besides salt and olive oil?
nothing.
Maybe how long do the chickpeas have to be in the oven for?
So I would put them for 40 minutes, but I would like every 15, 20 minutes, I would just check and just like stir them around a bit, just shake the pan a bit and maybe turn it around.
So when our oven is at temp, should we put the chickpeas in?
Yes, put the chickpeas in. So I'm just going to cut this. So I don't know why everybody doesn't carry kabocha squash, because it's really, I like it more than butternut squash. It's denser, it's sweeter, it's really nice. And it's not even expensive. So I don't know why. I guess it's just not. So I like to roll it around like a cigarette, you know, the spinach. And then it's much easier to cut. And then I just chop it like. And then if it's unrolled, then you just roll it again. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I started doing this. I meant to do the chutney. And then I just give it a couple of. So I have a lot of spinach, but you'll see it'll whittle down to nothing. So, sorry, I meant to start with the chutney. So I have canned tomatoes. Traditionally, it's made, you can make it with fresh tomatoes, but it's more work. So the Bengalis have a lot of different types of chutneys. And it's unique because they, I mean, many cultures have chutneys, but the Bengalis sweet and a bit sour and a little bit spicy sometimes, and they eat it in between, like in between the main food and the dessert, almost like a palate cleanser. So this, I'm just going to hand crush it. And these, if you found the DOP, the San Marzano, they're so soft. They just like, can you see? They just like much more than the other type of canned tomatoes. They have less seeds. It's great. So nice, feels so nice to hand crush them, doesn't it?
I chopped it tonight. But I have different tomatoes if you find those. I chopped it up, yeah.
Yeah. When we make marinara sauce, we've been hand crushing it, and it's so nice. I'm a ceramic artist, so I love doing things with my hands.
Ah.
Actually, you can see us because we can't see you. And Elizabeth, we can't see you either. But as long as you can see and you're okay, and you can see both the screens side by side, we're good to go.
Nidhi, do we keep the sauce with the tomatoes or just separate the tomatoes out?
No, keep the sauce. Keep the whole thing.
So you just you kind of squish the tomatoes into the sauce?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I had trouble getting my can open because I don't have a can opener, but I'm on you. I'm with you now.
And hi, Nidhi, it's Jayashri. Sorry, I had really a lot of technical problems, including how to turn my video on and the mute and off mute button as well. Anyways, I'm here.
Oh, great, great. Mary, are you with us? Like, can you hear what we're doing?
I'm here. I'm handling my 2-year-old granddaughter, but my son is here, so this is good. He was going to have him. He's been the prep person. And to say about the squash, the kabocha, it's not found in southeastern New Mexico. But so I'm sure it's fine with that.
So we use this brand of, I really like this brand of mustard oil in case when things open up and you can source fine mustard oil. It's a really nice, it's very pungent and it's used in a lot of Bengali food. And for some reason, it's not allowed in the US. So it's for cooking, it says for massage only. Where does it say? Sometimes it says for massage only. There's a warning on the side. But body massage and hair oil, but we all use it. So, but if you're squirmish about it, don't, but otherwise use it. So has everyone got their tomatoes crushed? So I'm just adding a little bit of mustard oil for this, for the tomato chutney. and you had this, the panchphoron. The panchphoron is 5 spices, right? It's got fennel, nigella seeds, fenugreek seeds, mustard seeds, and cumin seeds. And it's only used in Bengal also again, but it's really nice. And but you have to be careful because the fenugreek can burn really fast.
Should we be on a medium heat?
Yes, yes. So it should get hot so that the thing sizzles, but not really smoking hot. You see it sizzling, and then I'm going to add the crushed chili. So you can add as much crushed chili, like less or more, depending on how spicy you want it. And then see it's white. Be careful, your tomatoes will splatter.
Do the spices need to pop or anything before you add the tomatoes?
They pop a little bit, yes. But quickly means add the tomatoes soon, because otherwise if the fenugreek burns, you're in trouble. Not in serious trouble, it'll smell a little, it'll taste a little. Yes. Everyone got the spices, right? About half a teaspoon. How much did I say? Did you get the recipe? About half a teaspoon.
Okay. It says 1/4 of a teaspoon for the chutney.
It says 1/4 to half, right?
No, it just says.
Oh, 1/4. You can add 1/4 or half. It's fine. Whatever is fine.
Okay. So I don't have to wait for the oil to get super hot before I put
Not super hot.
Before I put the tomatoes in?
No, before you put the seeds, first the seeds, then the tomatoes.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to add some salt. How was I muted everyone? Somebody's not muted.
You just mute up. Yeah.
So if anybody has a question, they can unmute themselves and ask me.
So once I got the oil and the seeds, and then I put the tomato, and then the recipe says to cover and let it simmer for 10 minutes, and then, so I'll just do that now?
Yeah, you can cover and let it simmer, or just open, let it simmer for 10 minutes. Either or is fine.
Okay.
I'm just leaving it open. I like to see.
And Nidhi, can you tell me, I missed the beginning, what's the temperature of the oven for the roasted chickpeas?
It's 380. I set it at 380.
Okay, thanks.
It depends, like some ovens like overheat, some underheat. So between 375 and 400 is good. So what was the question of the day, Kapil? We had a question. Favorite movie?
Or if you could be a celebrity.
Oh, yes, that was a question. If you could, our question is if you could be a celebrity for a day, who would you be? Who would you pick? I think everybody's gone to their kitchen to cook.
I was in the kitchen and didn't hear your question.
If you could be a celebrity for a day, who would you be? And why, maybe?
I have an unusual answer that came to mind. I didn't think about it. And it may not be the real answer, but I just thought I would give it. I'm going to say Richard Gere, because I understand that he's probably in his 70s, he's probably my age or older, and that he just had a child. And I'm thinking, I'd like to be him because he has the means to bring one up, and then I could do it now and have a child at this age.
That's true, and actually he's a great philanthropist. He does a lot of work in India.
Well, yeah, I love his work with Dalai Lama and everything. He's, you know, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, he's nice. Can you put the pan on?
Yeah. I will.
I can do it. Oh, so while this is happening, let's julienne. I don't know if I had reviewed it last time. Julienne, how to julienne the ginger, right? So what I do is I make little, like thin little discs. I don't know. Can you see?
Let me see, little discs.
1 second. I'm just stirring it. My pot is sizzling like crazy. 1 second. Sorry.
It shows up on the screen.
Right? Oh, it shows up. It's fine. I mean, okay. So just make like thin, like you can make either long-wise or this-wise, like really thin slices. And then you stack it like stack it up. I'm making 2 stacks because I don't want it to be too high. And then I'm going to cut it longwise now, right? Like this. So if you want longer slices, then you have to cut. Does that work? Then you have to, if you cut it lengthwise, if you cut your
Nidhi, can I ask you an emergency question? I kind of burned my spices for the chutney, then I added the tomatoes. It made quite a smoke, but the chili flakes are all really black. Is that all right?
now you've added it, now we'll see how it tastes.
Mm.
It should not be too bad.
Okay.
Can you add in a little more of the 5-spice blend after they're simmering, or is it too late to make it a little
Now it's
spicy?
too late. You can add it in the end, but then you heat a little bit of oil and put the 5-spice blend and then add it. But we need some of the 5-spice blend for the chickpea dish also, for the spinach dish.
Oh, okay.
You don't need a lot, you just need a pinch of it. So maybe that's why I said to cover it, because it goes a bit gangbusters. So does everyone get the julienning of the...
Yeah, we put
Yes,
it in.
thanks, Nidhi.
And then has everyone got their raisins soaked? So they're a little plump.
So what do I do? I have the ginger julienne and I have my raisins soaking.
Yeah, so now once it's like tomatoes are cooked for about 10 minutes, we'll add the raisins. We'll add the julienne ginger. add 1 cup of water.
Nidhi, sorry, the julienne, the ginger, is it cut? And I missed that.
So you can chop your ginger, you can julienne. Julienne is just nice because there's nice big pieces and it looks pretty, but you can even just chop them.
Okay.
Can you show how much ginger you chopped?
Sorry?
How
I
much
chopped
ginger
like a
did you
tablespoon of ginger, about a tablespoon.
chop? Okay.
So it's in India we do everything like by andaz. So it's really hard for me to write down quantities. Andaz means approximate estimate, like, you know, a little bit here, a little bit. If I ask anybody for a recipe in India, they'll say, oh, a little bit here. I'm like, what does little bit mean? So I'm going to,
Do you drain the raisins?
I drain the raisins, yes.
Okay.
Nidhi,
Yes,
I wound up adding the raisins and the sugar before simmering.
that's fine. No,
Okay.
don't worry. Yeah. I'm just going to add a little bit, some of the sugar now.
I have a question about the sugar. I don't have any sugar. The only sugar I have in the house is it's going to be rather strong. It's brown coconut sugar, which would impose a taste. Shall I leave the sugar out? And I have honey. But I don't have any regular sugar in the house.
I don't know what coconut sugar tastes like.
He has honey in this one.
It's kind of a strong smell. It's a brown sugar.
It sounds delicious.
Maybe add a little bit, and then
I'll
in
try
the
a little.
end we'll add honey.
Do you say and add honey?
No, so in the end, if you need to, we'll add honey.
Okay.
Let's just add a little bit of sugar because so then when it cooks with the tomatoes, it's nice.
Sorry, Nidhi, on the sugar, like about a teaspoon? I can't remember.
I about 2 tablespoons. I added actually three teaspoons. Can you just shake the pan? So maybe this is a good time also to just look at your pan in the oven and just shake it for a little, just shake it to make sure the chickpeas are getting cooked evenly. So you can add about 2 tablespoons of the sugar. Carol. Carol asked the question.
I'm sorry, were you talking to me?
Did you ask about the sugar?
Nope.
Somebody else asked. Who? I don't know who asked.
Nidhi, it's Emily.
Emily asked?
So, no, I use fresh tomatoes and they're a little watery. So should I add the whole cup of water?
Because we're going to cook it for about 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay.
I'm removing this into my thing so we can start on the other dish. I'm just going to put it in the stove and let it just simmer. So just about like open, you can leave it open and then just let it, just so that it's simmering. And then every few, like 5 minutes, just check on it to make sure it's not burning.
So at this point, Nidhi, the rest of the water and the ginger and everything should be in it?
Yes, everything's in it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Leave the tomatoes simmering on the stove now for quite a while.
Yes.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, Emily.
It's either CrossFit or building or meditation or masala mama. Yeah.
It's best to leave it uncovered so it will thicken better.
Yes, yes. And then if you need to, we'll add more water. So how are we on the prep for the next dish? I haven't cut my eggplants. I think I like all things Japanese, so I got this Japanese eggplant and I'm just going to cut them. I have my kabocha squash cut.
I have everything prepped.
I am prepped as well,
Amazing.
although I have less spinach than you do.
Yeah, I think I went a bit berserk with my spinach. I bought this big bag from the farmer's market. I like this eggplant because it's never bitter. It cooks really fast. It has, sometimes the big eggplants have a lot of seeds, sometimes they don't. So when I see these eggplants, I buy them. All right, so if everyone's ready, we can start on this dish. If someone's not ready, we can wait. Mary, I don't see you. Are you there? Are you okay? Al, you doing okay?
I'm great. Yeah, I just was getting my eggplant from another spot.
All right, so.
I don't have a good work surface around my stove, so.
And the chickpeas are
I'm
there.
good. Oops, something happened here. There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, great.
Okay.
So I'm going to put it again, it's the same thing like the thing. You have to be careful not to let the spices burn, not to let the panchphoron burn. So I'm putting on, I'm going to wait for it to get hot. So who's there? Carol, oh sorry, she ran out. Mike, who would you be? Which celebrity would you be?
I have no idea. I was busy chopping ginger. I have to think about that.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Mike, what about you?
I was thinking maybe Steve Martin. He seems like an interesting guy to be in his head for a day. He knows a lot that I don't know.
I have to tell you, I catered a dinner once and Steve Martin showed up.
No way.
Yeah, I made him a cocktail and he tried to, what joke did he crack? Oh my gosh. I got annoyed with him honestly, but he was funny and it was a really beautiful dinner and the host said, Nidhi, I have to tell you, don't panic, but Steve Martin's coming. I'm like, what?
Do we put all the oil in, Nidhi? Sorry.
Yes.
So it's 5 tablespoons.
Did I say 1? No, not 5 tablespoons. Oh, shoot. Sorry, that 5 tablespoons was for both the chickpeas and this.
Okay, so how much?
3 tablespoons.
Okay, thank you.
We'd be making a paste of this mashad jur spice.
So I'm just going to put a little bit of water in this thing and just mix it.
What is that?
Cut out.
So the mustard.
How much are we using of this spice? A couple.
Sorry?
How much of the spice? A couple of teaspoons?
Yes, yes. You can add the whole thing. It depends on your spice tolerance level also.
Just like
So sometimes we do what's sorry. Just added water to the mustard blend. Did the spices come to you, Shreya?
Nidhi, can you slow it down just a little bit?
Yes, I'm slowing down.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm putting everything in my thing in pause. It's just showing in this color.
So Nidhi, can I just ask you a question about the spices?
Yes.
The recipe says it's equal parts of fennel, cumin, mustard seeds, nigella, and Greek seeds. Is that what you're mixing right now with water?
Yes, is it Jayashree?
Mm-hmm.
So did you not find the mixture in the Indian store?
This is the 5 spice mixture?
Yes.
I did find it, yes.
Does it look like this?
Yeah, it does.
So that's what you have to use.
So that's what we're putting into the oil once it's hot.
Yeah, yeah. And so you know what, everyone, just pause and look at me and then cook, right? So just watch this step. And then you all can, and then I'll wait for you to when you add it, right? So I'm putting my thing on again, my.
One quick question first. You know, in chopping the spinach, do we keep the stalks of the spinach on it? Or?
I don't keep the fat stalks, but I keep the rest of it.
Okay, thanks.
So Damini, just come and watch once, and then we can start. So what I really like doing is taking the spice in my hand and just rubbing it a little bit. It sort of releases some of the oils, right? Did everyone get that? So I just rub it a little bit, and then I add it. And then I'm going to add a little bit of this.
What did you just add after the
What's this?
The crushed red chili.
Oh, okay.
I added the spice too soon. I added the mustard spice already. Is that all right? I put it in with the oil.
Yeah, that's fine. So we'll just wait for it to sizzle. My oil was not hot enough, so it didn't sizzle right away. But you see it's sizzling now. As soon as it starts sizzling and popping a little bit, I'm going to add the kabocha squash and the eggplant.
So all the spices go in at the same time?
Not the blend. This one doesn't go now. Only the whole spices go in now.
I put the blend in by mistake already. I didn't read it correctly. Is that all right?
So did I.
We'll have to see. It should be okay. But next time, don't do that.
If we salted the eggplant, do we need to rinse the salt off?
I sometimes do. I give it a quick rinse. You don't have to, but it's nice to. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. So, I have to be honest, I was a little nervous about making this dish with you guys because it's a very subtle dish. There's no onions, there's no tomatoes. It's not like a crowd pleaser. It's a very Bengali dish. You taste the vegetables, you taste the ginger and this mustard oil. It's one of my favorite dishes and I hope you like it. You can make it with pumpkin also. So where were we on who's there to answer the question? Carol, did you have a thing? Everyone's cooking. Amelie, why don't you tell us since you're not cooking?
What would you guys need?
What celebrity would you be and why?
Maybe Michelle Obama.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
I don't even have to ask you why.
Good choice.
Good choice. Excellent choice.
She's amazing, first of all, and second, she can do a lot more push-ups than I can. She's very fit.
Somebody's not. Mike, could you mute yourself? Let me see if I can mute him. Yeah. Okay. So, Amelie, you were talking.
Oh, yeah, I was just saying that she's an amazing woman, and she can also do a lot more push-ups than I can. So.
I can't. I'm really so. Mike and me, we go to the gym, which is being rebranded now, but CrossFit, and I can't even do one push-up. Like, not push-up. Yes, push-up. Push-up. Yeah, push-up. I can't do one. Like I do knee push-ups. It's so bad. Computing sit-ups. Mike, how many sit-up push-ups can you do?
Sit-ups?
Push-ups.
Oh, push-ups?
Oh, not enough.
Did you do the mop?
I did. That was hard. It never gets easier.
Yeah, we're going to send you the mop to do, Amelie, over there. So the flame is quite high on this, huh? It's like medium high. And I like to let it sit and sear a little bit, the vegetables. Who's next? Who's there? Emily, who would you be? You have to unmute yourself. Emily, you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, no, my computer just went black because I hadn't jiggled the mouse for a little bit. So I don't know who I would be for a day. I've been, like, you posed the question, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have no idea. I don't know. Well, years ago, I thought I wanted to be Annie Lennox. Because, you know, she just has such an amazing voice, and I would just love to be able to sing.
Yeah.
I like singing like that. But I now I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just stick with her.
Have you heard, do we have Annie Lennox?
No.
I'm going to listen. I'm going to go get the album. I'm just going to check on the tomatoes and come back for a second.
Yeah, I don't know why you put it there.
I thought Steve Martin was also a good choice, Mike.
I put my tomatoes in. I forgot to put it on.
Okay, Nitty, I decided that I wanted to be Julie Taymor for a day.
Sorry?
Julie Taymor.
Julie
Taymor, the director of Puppeteer.
Director of what?
She's the director and a puppeteer.
Oh, amazing.
What is she? She directed The Lion King, but it's some of her earlier stuff that I just admire her creativity so much.
Oh, that's amazing. I have the Lion King book. I was so impressed. I bought the book on the costumes of Lion King, and it talks about like how, and that's amazing. So tell us what some other things that she's done so we can watch it. So if things are sticking, you can add a little bit more oil.
Yeah, I just thought of that.
Can I tell you who I'd like to be for a day?
Yes, so Kapil's going to tell us who he'd like to be.
I'd like to be Donald Trump for a day so I could fire Pence and then resign.
Did you all hear that? Kapil wants to be Donald Trump for the days so he could fire Pence and then shoot himself.
Or resign.
Or resign. He said resign. I said shoot.
Resign is pretty good.
Resign is pretty good. I'm like, I think I have a Roald Dahl in me. That's a good one. I think it's resign is better so that we can send him in jail. Send him to jail.
Actually, I'd like to bring back public pillaring for him.
Who else is there now?
And then send him to jail.
Okay.
In the old days, they used to attach elephants to both ends of the guy and get those elephants to walk about. That was fun.
How's everyone's tomato doing?
It's simmering. It doesn't seem to be reducing much yet.
Yeah, same here.
Maybe increase it a little bit, the heat.
I just did that. So Nidhi, do you cook like this every night?
Do I cook like this? Do I cook like this every night?
Nowadays, a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Or like suppose I would make this, so this is a big dish. I would make this tonight and then I'd have leftovers for tomorrow and then I'll make something little to go with it. So in this, sometimes you can even add just like a dash of water sometimes to deglaze the pan, but like just a dash. The things are sticking.
Nidhi, do you have any Bengali roots or did you grow up in Calcutta?
I grew up in Calcutta. I'm just a wannabe Bengali.
I hear you. I've spent so much time in Calcutta, I'm very familiar. Yeah, great. Lovely cooking.
Yeah, their food is really like, they say halka hate ranna, which means cooking with a light hand. It's very Bengali. It's not overspiced. It's not, they don't use a lot of onions or tomatoes or even garlic actually. They barely use any garlic. So Emily, it's up your street.
Nice.
They make a lot of vegetables. They also make a lot of meat and they like seafood is vegetarian for them.
Lots of fish.
Lots of fish, yeah. Al, how are you doing? We haven't heard from you. I'm going to add a little bit more oil. So, I haven't grated my ginger. So I don't know, I have a microplane. I love using that for grating my ginger.
Nidhi, I just checked chickpeas and they're looking pretty toasty.
Oh, good. Let's take it out. Mine are also, I'm going to take mine out now. I can hear my oven going to beep soon. Will you take out the chickpeas too?
My chickpeas seem to be bubbling in the oil a little bit.
Nice.
Not sure how toasty they're going to be.
I find the chickpeas get pretty toasty, but not like super toasty, but it's nice. So I'm going to add the other chickpeas to this. The ones that I'd saved, not the ones from the oven. Yeah. I'm going going to just let it like for 1 minute, cook it before I add the spinach. I'm going to add a little bit more salt. I might not add all the spinach. I had some beet greens, so I'm just going to add some of that. I had beets that were, I wanted to just use the greens for it.
You added the greens to the kabocha, and then the
Greens, yeah. I just used, I had some stock of the beet greens, so I added that, but I'm going to add my greens now. You know, I'm going to add, actually, sorry, I'm going to add the spice and the ginger before I add the greens.
yes.
Nidhi, I have a question about the tomato chutney.
About the?
I tasted it. It
Yeah.
tastes more very tomato. Should
Very
I add
what?
more ginger to it? And I said the tomato chutney,
Yeah.
the taste is a lot more tomato. Should I add more ginger to it?
Yeah, you can add more ginger to it.
What do you think?
You can add more ginger to it. You can add
Okay.
grated ginger. Why don't you add some grated ginger? So I added the ginger and the spice blend to this.
Can I add this huge amount of spinach? This was only one bunch. Come down, I can show it to you.
So you can add like a bunch of spinach to it. You can add as much spinach as you want. I'm just adding, I'm not adding all of it. I'm adding this much to it, like maybe a little bit more.
Okay.
And I added a little bit of water just to mix, to get it all to mix, like a quarter, less than a quarter cup of water. I think I had too much spinach, but this is good. I'm just mixing it well. So the spices and everything mixes.
Sugar too now, Nidhi?
And just like a pinch of sugar. Where did my sugar go? Just a little bit of sugar. Bengalis like to add a little bit sugar. Michael, you don't have to add sugar.
Yeah, I won't add any.
Just a little bit. The Gujaratis and the Bengalis add a little bit of sugar to their food. So once it's nicely mixed, I'm going to cover it and let it cook in its own steam. Is this good?
Are you going to are you lowering the heat when you do that?
A little bit, not too much, like maybe medium. But I'm going to let it cook for a minute before I even make it a medium. So who hasn't answered? Saudamini hasn't answered. Al hasn't answered. Mary hasn't answered. Priya hasn't answered. Who wants to go? I don't know everyone's in their kitchen. I don't even know who I want to be. I had to think. Wait, sorry.
Nidhi, did you make that mustard spice blend with 2 tablespoons of water? I missed that. We're supposed to do that.
I added the mustard blend. I added a little bit of water to make it a paste.
Okay.
Oh, my chickpeas are looking nice and crunchy. So sorry, is anyone making the cocktail with me today?
I don't have all the ingredients to do it, but I'll listen.
I will.
Mike, if you have a martini glass, can you stick it in the freezer? And it's better with rye, with whiskey, Mike. So make it with whiskey if you can. Anybody else making the Michael, what do you have?
Let me see.
Shreya, are you making the cocktail with us?
I am not.
Carol's not. The mock.
I have Irish whiskey, I do have lemon, I have maple syrup, I have egg, and I have dried rosemary. I have those items.
You don't have to use rosemary, so you're good to go, Michael. If you have whatever glass, closest thing you have to a martini glass, stick it in the freezer.
Put a glass in the freezer now?
Yeah, if you have a martini glass, otherwise a small
I
glass.
hardly ever drink anything, but someone gave me the bottle of Irish whiskey. It'd be nice to sample it now.
Yeah.
So I can put just a glass in the freezer.
Yes. And do you have a shaker, cocktail shaker? Oh. Do you have a cocktail shaker?
I do not.
Oh, then you can't make the egg white version. You'll make the non-egg white version.
Okay.
Shreya? I'm going to peek. So this dish it's a bit, what we say, ghanta means it's a bit mishy-mashy. It's not a very, it gets a bit mishy, which is nice. It's nice when it's a little mishy-mashy. So are you with us? Can you talk? Was it nice, chickpeas?
Huh?
Chickpeas was nice?
Yeah.
Something?
Nidhi,
Yes.
I'm going to volunteer. If I were a celebrity, I would want to be Bill Nye the Science Guy. So I can explain all of this stuff that we're going through.
No,
fun
gosh, we
way.
need that so badly, right?
We need somebody that can explain it in a fun way.
Yes.
So I'm trying, but now that I'm retired, I don't know what's going on in our laboratory. So we always had fun talking about stuff, but.
Yeah. So Mary lives in Roswell, Mary?
New Mexico, yes.
In Roswell, New Mexico. And I met her because of my friend Sharbani, and her husband Sanjay used to live there. And nowadays, Sanjay is a pathologist, and I call him for everything, like any question I have. Like, can we go here? Can we take a taxi? Any stupid question I have, I call him.
They're great. I'm so glad I did get to meet you. And your sauces are great. My kids love them, and I wanted them to be here, but I have my 2-year-old. Luckily, my son came in at the last minute. So I was thinking, wow, who would I be right now? Somebody that could really keep that child very just focused. Bill, not I hit my kid. Anyway, it's nice to see everybody. I hope you're doing well.
Nidhi?
Yes.
The squash mixture seems to be sticking to the bottom of the pan.
Just put
But
a
it's
little
very,
bit of
very
water.
soft.
You put a little bit of water, like a quarter cup of water. Not
Okay,
even a quarter, an eighth of a cup of water.
okay.
Yeah, I put too much water. I guess I'll have to pour it out at the end.
No, just open your open the top and then let it cook without the lid.
It's actually starting to burn.
I'll do that.
Okay, then maybe your heat is too high.
I turned it down, but it's still,
You can
I think I'm going to take it off the heat.
just take it off for a minute, add water.
Smitty, how thin should the chutney be now?
Okay, I'm going to go look at the chutney and bring it back. I want to show you my chutney. So this is my chutney, and wait. So this is my chutney, and it's a bit thin, but it's not bad, and it'll also thicken later. So this is not bad for the chutney.
Mine actually got quite thick. I just turned off the heat.
Yeah, you can add a little bit more water if it's too thick.
Really delicious.
Lady, hi. My chutney looks great, but I have a question about the egg. Is it supposed to get seared, or, you know, I'm a little behind. So does the egg kind of fry in the oil?
I lost you there, Saudamini.
Does the egg sizzled and fried in the oil? Should it? The eggplant?
You added, one second, one second. I'm just going to mute everyone for a second, and then, Saudamini, unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, now unmute yourself and ask me what you're asking me.
Oh, I see. The eggplant should sizzle in the oil a little bit, and then the squash next, or?
Add the eggplant and the squash together.
Okay, and do they sizzle in the oil? They should have been?
They just not sizzle, but you just saute them in the oil.
Okay. And should they kind of look sauteed, or does it just, how long?
Yeah, it gets a bit seared at the bottom.
Okay.
So I'm going to get a fork just to taste and see if this is done. Cut and taste. I think this eggplant is not done, so I'm going to cook it a little bit longer. And otherwise?
Good.
I'm just going to cook it a little bit longer because I think my eggplant needs it. Squash is done, but the eggplant needs a little bit more.
I need quite a bit more oil in the pan somehow.
Yeah, it depends how much you're making, about 3 to 4 tablespoons. So Shreya, what would you be? What celebrity would you be for a day?
Oh. I don't know, maybe. I have to think. I'll come back.
Okay, think and come back. Al, what about you? Al, you're muted.
Yeah. I don't know. I also had the idea of being Trump and resigning myself.
What would you do to yourself?
I would not shoot myself. I would just resign.
You would just resign. No, a couple would resign too. You professors are on the same page, yeah. Nice. Oh my gosh, I just can't imagine living even for one day as Trump, just his hands and his voices.
I think he's actually not well.
Yeah. So who's left? Elizabeth, we can't see you, but can you talk? It's Aldana.
Oh, hi, yes, I'm here.
So which celebrity would you be for a day?
I've been really racking my brain and I cannot think of
Oh my
anyone.
gosh.
I'm trying to think of either someone who can make a big difference or someone who travels to amazing places, but I can't think of anyone specific.
Either someone who does amazing or travels. What about, what's his name? The chef, Kapil, who travels everywhere.
Gordon Ramsay, you thinking of?
Oh, Anthony Bourdain.
Huh? Bourdain.
Yeah.
He's dead, but so what? I can't think of who I'd want to be. Maybe Anthony Bourdain. But I want to be a superwoman. I don't know. Michelle Obama was a good one.
I think
Shreya, tell me.
I like to be like Serena Williams. Serena Williams. I could, yeah.
Yeah.
She's strong. She plays great tennis.
Maybe Oprah. So where is everyone at with their dish? Is it all cooked? Are you all cooked?
My chutney is still reducing. The other dish I think is cooked.
And how does it taste, Carol?
I'll taste it in a moment. I haven't gotten that far.
Okay. Who's left? Saudamini, did you answer? Saudamini, also your video is gone.
Well, I was thinking of being Bob Dylan, but oh, my video. You're right there. Oh, sorry. But you know.
Why not? And he won the Nobel, right?
Well, I just.
No, he didn't. Yeah. Yeah.
Is there any sauce in this squash dish? It doesn't really get saucy, does it?
No, it gets mushy. So it's like what we call lapetwa, meaning it's like a wrap around dish, but there's no sauce.
Right. Okay.
Squash is really good.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. I've really been nervous about this dish because, this is not like a dish you would typically get in a restaurant or it's a very home dish, healthy, delicious. Yeah.
Okay. Jayashri, did you say you're a celebrity yet?
Yeah, Jayashri hasn't said.
I just reject the idea of celebrity, so I just don't think that would make me happy.
Okay, but who would you be?
Yeah, this does not appeal to me even a teeny tiny bit to be a celebrity for a day. But I think Michelle Obama was a cool choice and I like Bob Dylan, but I just have no desire to be a celebrity. I suppose maybe somebody like Buddha, who would actually, have the capacity to change humanity the way we think and understand about the world and brings about more compassion, that appeals to me. Yeah. But I wouldn't want to be him necessarily, No,
that's totally understandable.
But yeah.
Yeah.
If I can mention, there's one person I realized that I would be for a day, and it's Amir Khan, the Indian actor.
I love that.
I think
now I know who I want to be.
His compassion and his way of manifesting character is so moving that I would like to be in be in him for a day and experience what he's experiencing. Yeah.
It's inspired me, Michael, to say who I want to be. I want to be Deepika Padukone.
Tell me more.
She's like the hottest. So this is a completely vain answer. She is the hottest actress in India. She's tall. I mean, she's gorgeous. She's like drop dead gorgeous, and she has the perfect body and Her father was a badminton player who I used to adore, but she's just stunning.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm going to bring the tomato chutney. So what you don't put the chickpeas now, but just when you're eating, put the chickpeas on top so that it gives a little nice crunch to it. So the Bengalis sometimes finish this dish with coconut, with fresh coconut, fresh grated coconut, but we don't get fresh grated coconut here. So you can put the desiccated coconut, like just soak it for a little bit and add that if you want to. You don't have to. I'm not putting anything today, but you can do that. Like along with the chickpeas, you can put some of the coconut. So we can all, I guess, if everyone's finished cooking, we can unmute. Everyone can unmute and then like just tell me like how everything is and tasting. If you have any questions, I think we've got through everyone.
Didi, cocktail recipe?
Well, we are making a cocktail. Are you making a cocktail with us?
Yes.
You have all the ingredients. Can you put a glass in the freezer? If you have a martini glass,
I did.
cocktail shaker. So this is the tomato chutney. I'm going to give Kapil a taste.
I don't have a cocktail shaker.
If you don't have a cocktail shaker, you can make it without the egg white, but you can't use the egg white.
Okay. That's fine.
But you can make the drink without the egg white. So the drink we're making is called a filibuster.
My kitchen smells heavenly.
Lovely.
It's not sweet enough.
Oh, it's my husband's saying it's not sweet enough, so I don't think I put enough sugar.
And it's not thick enough.
No, it'll thicken when it cools. You're supposed to have it cold. So I'm just going to adjust my sugar. I think I'm pleased on the sugar.
Nini, I'm gonna hop off because I'm not making the drink and my dishes are done and we want to eat it hot.
Okay, all right. Are the dishes tasting nice, Emily?
Awesome. I love this.
Can you take the camera to the dish and show me? Oh, nice, nice, nice. Lovely.
And then my chutney is still simmering.
You know, the chutney doesn't have to be very thick.
Let's see.
How do I say, what consistency is this? Like a marinara, thinner than a marinara sauce.
Yeah, like a marinara.
But a little bit thinner also it can be. So you can shut it. It's generally had cool, but you can have it hot also. Generally it's had at room temperature.
More salt, actually.
Nidhi, is the chutney meant to go on top of the squash or just as a side?
As a side.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's great with cheese.
Okay.
Yeah.
For that it needs to be a lot thicker.
For that it needs to be thicker. I'm just going to remove all these things.
And I think, Nidhi, too, you have taken me to the limits of my cooking apparatus. If there were any more bowls needed, I would have been in trouble.
Only needed 2 cooking pans.
Bowls.
Bowls, right, because of all the vegetables.
Yes.
All right, Nidhi, Japanese whiskey or bourbon?
I'm using rye,
Yeah.
so nothing fancy, whatever is the cheapest.
Okay. I'm going to go with the whiskey.
Thank you, everyone. Lovely cooking with you.
Bye-bye. Good to see you again, Emily.
Same here.
Bye, Emily.
Bye, Simona.
I think I'm going to, Nidhi, I think I'm going to sign off too since I'm not drinking tonight. So,
all right,
but thank you. This was great.
Great, thank you.
Nidhi, could you show us a flash of what the squash dish is supposed to look like, just to get it?
Yeah. Can you see?
For some reason, it's not coming up in my... I can see the one with you in it, but the other one I'm not getting. I don't know why. Oh, there it is. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Thanks.
Al, are you making a drink with us?
I'm just going to watch. I don't have any alcohol. So I was wondering, you said something about making a mocktail?
Yes, you can make the mocktail version.
Okay. So you could kind of about that say something? Or it's totally different?
Similar. I mean, it's a similar concept. So we'll put in the mocktail, you'll put you can add ginger to it if you have some ginger. It's nice.
Yeah.
And the rosemary, and you can muddle it, and we'll add lemon juice and maple syrup. And then you'll top it with seltzer instead of the whiskey.
Oh, I see. All right.
So,
Is this okay?
Yes.
It's whiskey, Crown Royale.
Totally fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a bowl. 1 second. So if you are making it with the egg white, you have to have a shaker. But if you, otherwise you can't, otherwise you don't need a shaker. So I'm going to put in, should I just review the mocktail version first, or who's making Mary's making the mocktail? Anybody else? So Dami, are you making the mocktail version?
I will, but I'm behind. But
Okay, so then I'm going to do this first and then do the mocktail. So about 1.5 ounces of whiskey for one drink.
Nidhi, can I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
So all I have is the cap to my shaker.
Oh, you don't have the cover?
Oh, I do have a cover? No, but I don't have a little measure, like a shot.
Oh, do you have a measuring cup?
No.
Do you have a tablespoon?
Yes.
1 tablespoon.
1 ounce is 2 tablespoons.
1 ounce is 2 tablespoons.
Okay.
So put 3 tablespoons of whiskey.
Okay.
I'm going to do the maple syrup next, so that half an ounce of maple syrup. You can do a little less than half if you want it a little less sweet. And then 3/4 ounce of lemon juice.
So Nidhi, how many tablespoons of maple syrup do you think?
1 tablespoon.
Okay.
And then 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice. No, 3/4 is 1.5, right, Kapil?
Hmm?
2 tablespoons is an ounce.
Yes.
So 1.5 tablespoons
Is
3/4.
3/4, yeah.
And for those who are adding egg, and I'm going to add a sprig of the rosemary into it, just the whole sprig.
Oh, I have to tell you, I went out to the garden and actually picked rosemary. my landlady has planted a rosemary bush. That was fun.
So I'm going to crack the egg in this first and separate the white and the yellow. Right, you can see. So this is more white than we need for one drink.
Oh, sorry.
So traditionally, the rosemary doesn't go in the drink, but I'm putting it, and I'm going to put about 3/4 of an ounce of the egg white, which is, are you making 2 drinks, Simona? You're muted. 1 drink. So 3/4 of an ounce of the thing. Mike, are you there? Are you
I am. I'm making a very small amount because I drink very little, so I'm just making a tiny.
So yeah, don't put the egg white, Michael, because you
No.
can't shake it. And then you really close it tight.
Wait, Nidhi, how much, for one drink, how much egg white?
Like half of the egg white that you cracked.
Oops. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. You can put a little bit more, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm going to just shake to make sure it's closed really well. So Shreya, if you're not using egg white, just put the maple syrup, lime juice, and whiskey, and then put ice and just stir it. And I'm going to, if you put the egg white in, you have to shake it for 20 seconds.
Do we put ice in here?
Not now.
Okay.
First you have to do a dry shake and then an ice shake. So you shake it for 20 seconds. So I'm going to count. And be careful because the egg white likes to escape from the, it creates a lot of, what do you call it? Gas, something. Now I'm going to get ice and I'm going to do a wet shake. Now you open it, you put ice. And close it, like hold it with both hands, Simona, because it's going to want to like, and another shake.
Did you just add ice?
Yes.
And how much ice? Does it matter?
No, just a nice like 4 or 5 cubes.
Okay.
And I'm going to get my martini glass. So if you have to strain the ice from the thing, so you can strain it using any whatever strainer you have, or you can just take the top off and strain it. Shreya, you just have to strain your ice out. And if you're using, you can. Sorry.
How much bitters and lemon? How much bitters and lemon did you add? Lemon juice?
So I added 3/4 ounce of lemon juice, and I haven't yet added my bitter. You can add the bitters in the mix. I'm going to garnish with the bitters.
Oh, okay.
But you can add it in the mix too.
So mine is basically stirred, yes?
Yours is stirred.
And it's basically just the 3 things, the Jameson's whiskey, the maple syrup, and the lemon.
Yes, and then we're going to, I have a knife here.
And the cold glass that's in the freezer.
And cold glass with ice. How is your
Nidhi, can you go back to the ice step? My shaker got stuck. I couldn't get the top off. So I just put the ice in.
Trouble all the time. So once
It's
you do the
incredible.
dry shake, you do the ice. And make sure when you shake, Mike, that you shake, don't shake horizontal, shake like this. So that
Horizontally.
so both of them contract in the same way, but just hold it because it tends to explode.
Okay.
And shake it like this. So this gets cold too, otherwise they shrink at different levels.
For how long?
So with the ice, not so long.
Okay.
I have a knife here.
Will I be using ice at all?
Yes. Stir it with ice, and then you can then you strain it out. If you have a full glass, then you just strain it out without the ice.
The one that I'm stirring in a bowl, shall I use ice in it all or just pour that into the glass?
Yeah, you pour it into the glass without the ice.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that sounds perfect.
And then I'm going to just take a little thing of a slice of lemon like this. And I'm going to spray my drink with lemon. So if you squeeze it like this, you squeeze it and you squeeze it. And it sprays like the zest. It sprays a really nice thing. And I'm going to rub it around the rim of my glass. And I'm going to garnish with this. And
Did you put the bitters in yet?
yes,
Oh, when was that? How many shakes?
just a few drops. And
Okay.
sometimes it comes pretty and sometimes it doesn't, but it's like this color.
I don't see it, I don't think.
Can you see it? Oh, there.
Nidhi, what about the ginger?
So the ginger is more for the people who are not making the alcoholic version. So my thing is going to just lying down, but it's sort of like that. It's kind of fun like that. Does yours look like that? Like frothy? Kapil, will you taste?
Nidhi, I think I got some, does that look right? I feel like some of the yolk got in.
No, it looks good.
It's okay if it's yellowish?
It's yellowish because of the maple syrup. Mine is yellowish too.
Okay,
How does it taste?
I haven't tried yet. Cheers.
Mike, is your drink ready?
Yeah, I got it.
How is it?
Let's see.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you so much.
Ah,
Mm.
Can't wait to try it again.
Michael,
it's delicious.
isn't it?
Delicious.
Not
This
bad.
egg,
And I'll try the other one.
Really good.
How often do you do the class?
I do it every other Sunday.
Oh, wow. I'll have to watch for the next one.
So the next one is a very interesting class. Mike, it's going to be up your, so we have a thing in Calcutta called beet chops. We make like patties with beets. And it's delicious. And I've been making beet chop burgers. And it's like my favorite burger now. It's amazing. Shreya, how's your drink?
Are you ready for supper? I have a 2-year-old that's ready for supper. It's so nice to meet everyone.
Shreya, what did you say? How's the drink? I didn't hear her. Didn't I? Al, you're not making the drink, are you?
Ready for supper, Kathleen?
Squeezing the lemons because I'm making chocolate.
You can make lime. Add lime.
Are you just playing with Uncle Ike? So I'm mute. No.
Simona, you
Okay,
like
Nidhi.
egg white?
I added the egg white, yeah.
You like it?
I love it.
Isn't it amazing?
It's so amazing.
Mike, is this the first time you're having egg white?
It is for me.
Do you like it?
I do. It's nice
Isn't
frothy.
it? It
just
makes
did.
it,
It just makes it like a good, really nice texture.
yeah.
It's delicious. What is this called?
This is called a filibuster.
A what?
Filibuster.
Okay.
They don't put rosemary. I put rosemary.
Sweet.
I'm going to mute everyone again and then unmute. And then
I'm going to go feed the 2-year-old.
All right, see you.
She's muting.
I'm going to sign off. Bye, Nidhi. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Hi, Mike.
Have a great night. Enjoy your food. Thank you, Nidhi.
Thank you. Enjoy your food, Mike. Sorry, I can't hear you. Can you unmute yourself?
I've been on mute when I'm supposed to be off mute and off mute when I'm supposed to be on mute.
I know.
I'm actually doing okay now. Whew. I was a
Thank
little.
God. Shreya, how's your drink?
Oh, it's really good, Nidhi. I doubled the recipe, one for Will too.
So now you have to get a shaker so you can make the egg white version next time.
Nidhi, you have to write down the proportions.
I'll email you.
Perfect.
Okay.
Al, how are you doing? How's your cooking?
Bye, Nidhi.
Everything is delicious. We're going to eat well tonight.
Lovely. I'm so glad.